it's Naturally Glow and welcome back to my channel. So I actually currently have these microlocs that I put in myself in my loose natural hair a couple of months ago. But before that, I had my loose natural hair that I'd had for almost 6 years, and it got to around 20 inches and it was thick and it flourished and I absolutely loved having my natural hair. I want to be able to share with you my tips and tricks for how I grew my natural hair to be 20 inches on average over those 5 years, in case it can help you in any way. So if you want to hear about that, then just stay tuned. So my first major tip to retain your length and make sure that your beautiful natural hair does not break off necessarily is regarding manipulation. First point about manipulation. I performed a lot of low manipulative styles. I would keep styles in my hair for a week at a time, and maybe even 2 weeks at a time. I would spray it down and moisturize it in that style to make sure it wasn't drying out, but definitely low manipulation. Also regarding manipulation, I made sure that I never manipulated my hair while it was dry. Always damp. Before getting in there to take out a style or whatever, I always sprayed my hair to make sure it was damp or wet. I never worked on dry hair. Another thing is that because I really wanted to make sure I was not manipulating my hair too much, I even washed my hair in twists, conditioned it in twists, and sometimes let it air dry in twists before styling. I was all about controlling how much manipulation I was doing to my hair. The second major thing that I did was protective styling, especially in the winter months. You would not see my loose natural hair out between October and April because I was going from one style to another 8 weeks at a time. It was that point in the year that I decided that I had set aside specifically to do braids, whether it's actual braids or crochet braids, twists, cornrows, wigs. I made my own wigs, weaves, whatever it was. In those cold winter months, I had my hair in some protective style that made use of extensions, just to really help prevent my hair from drying out excessively. I considered a protective style using my actual loose hair without extensions, but it just didn't keep my hair hydrated enough. And so that's why I always used extensions in those cold months to make sure my hair didn't break off. The third thing that I think was really critical in helping me grow my loose natural hair so long was my wash regimen. So firstly, on a wash day, I would pre-poo my hair, and I just used coconut oil and aloe vera juice or aloe vera gel to help moisturize my hair and pre-condition it for a couple of hours before actually washing it. In doing my pre-poo, that's when I would dampen my hair and finger detangle. I only used the only kind of brush I used was those flexi brushes. I wish I had one now, but again, I have my locks now. But I just use those flexible tooth brushes to indicate which areas maybe needed more work in finger detangling, but I almost never used combs or anything like that. Then also as part of my wash day, I always made sure I deep conditioned, again for a few hours. I would just have the conditioner on my hair, throw on some kind of shower cap, and be about my business doing whatever I needed to do at home. I was more than happy to leave that conditioner on my hair for a few hours before washing it out. And then the last major thing related to my wash regimen is that after then rinsing out the deep conditioner from my hair, I followed the lock method. in terms of moisturizing it after that. So I put a liquid first, usually water. My hair was typically wet at that time already. And then an oil, and that would be something like one of the oil mixtures I made myself that I'll talk about later in this video, followed by a cream, something heavy like shea butter based, or just raw shea butter itself worked great on my hair. And that's the final component to my wash regimen. That was really helpful. The next thing that worked really well for me was maintaining a simple regimen. Personally, I was never really a product junkie per se. Anytime I bought products, they just lasted a long time, but I wasn't buying products on a weekly or bi-weekly, not even necessarily a monthly basis. I just had a routine for my hair. I also made sure that the products that I was using were really pure with really good ingredients that were usually organic. So for instance, the oil that I would use as part of my lock method, that had a combination, that was highly inspired by Natural 85, and that had like the olive oil, the grapeseed oil, avocado oil, vitamin E oil, sometimes rosemary oil, jojoba oil, castor oil, vegetable glycerin, sometimes Jamaican black castor oil. It just had everything in it in a little bottle. I still use it to this day on my skin, but that was my primary oil that I would use on my hair. I loved it. Buying all those ingredients at once is expensive, but I just bought them once in so many months and then refrigerated the bottles. So it lasts a really long time, and I think at the end of the day, compared to paying like $7 or $8 for a container this big, I actually think that it was a cheaper way to go. And you're getting pure, natural, organic ingredients. For my cream, I often would make my own creams. Like I put in a mixture of shea butter and coconut oil, and then a swizzle of the oil mixture that I made. That was most oftentimes the heavy cream component that I would use as part of my LOC, lock moisturization method for my loose natural hair. Kept the regimen really simple and just followed a routine each time. And my final tip was just to have patience. Honestly, each step or each stage that I went through in my hair length journey was most oftentimes, especially once I exceeded this length, it was most oftentimes the longest my hair had ever been. So I was always excited about that. I was always happy about that. I enjoyed working with my hair. I love feeling the texture. I absolutely love the texture of my 4C hair in my hair, those times when I was washing it or one of the few times I was manipulating it. So I just enjoyed the process. No matter what length my hair was at, I thought it was beautiful. I thought I looked great. I was really happy with it. So I was super patient. Regarding patience, I was always also patient whenever I was actually working on my hair. Yes, there were definitely frustrating periods. Why is this not here? You're experimenting, you're trying things for the first time and they don't always go as planned. But I always tried to be patient. I didn't want to work on my hair when angry, otherwise you'll just rip it out. So that was my suggestion. That is my final suggestion. Just being patient and loving the journey. So I hope that these tips have been helpful for you. I really wanted to give more of a quick overview just to put it out there. If there's anything else you wanted me to go into, then just let me know. Otherwise, I hope you like this video, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to hear more videos from me. And for now, I will just leave you with this: to love yourself and remember you naturally glow. Okay. Bye.